Following the incident, the procedure was reviewed. Documentation was updated. Additional safeguards were introduced. The procedure was improved. At least, that's what the record states. Revision number updated. Effective date logged. Distribution confirmed. The system had responded.
Some stories were never meant to be found. Some records were erased. This is a void case.
After unexpected outcomes, systems respond. This is standard practice. Reviews are conducted. Timelines are reconstructed. Stakeholders are interviewed. Reports are written. Detailed, thorough, comprehensive. Procedures are adjusted. Language is clarified. Steps are reordered. Requirements are added. The goal is improvement, to prevent recurrence, to strengthen the framework, to demonstrate accountability, but improvement can mean different things. It can mean addressing the root cause, or it can mean refining the documentation of the same process. And sometimes, the system cannot tell the difference. New documentation was issued. Version 2.3 replaced version 2.2. Internal guidance was revised. Section 4 was expanded. Subsection C was clarified. Additional verification steps were added. A new checkbox appeared on page 7. A second signature was now required on page 12. The procedure became more precise, more thorough, more compliant. The structure remained unchanged. The same departments reviewed, the same authorities approved, the same thresholds applied. The process had more steps, but it followed the same path. The documentation had more words, but it described the same decisions. Nothing fundamental shifted, only the paperwork expanded. Systems often learn from events. That's what institutional memory means. Capture what happened, document the response, adjust the framework. But learning does not always address cause. Sometimes it addresses symptoms. Sometimes it refines process without altering outcomes. Sometimes it adjusts documentation without changing decisions. Sometimes it adds layers of review that arrive at the same conclusions. The updated procedure may prevent the exact same sequence of events, the precise combination of conditions, the specific confluence of factors, but if the structure remains, if the thresholds remain, if the decision-making framework remains, then the outcome remains possible, just under slightly different circumstances, with slightly different documentation. The update was implemented. All personnel received notification. Training sessions were scheduled. Acknowledgement forms were signed. Staff were informed of the changes, the new steps, the additional checks, the expanded documentation requirements. Compliance requirements were clarified. What must be documented, when it must be documented, who must review it, who must approve it. The procedure improved efficiency. In some ways, clearer guidelines, better documentation, more traceable decisions. The risk remained, because the risk was never in the documentation. It was in the framework, in the thresholds, in the acceptable margins, in the distributed responsibility, and those were not part of the update. The documentation was updated. The process was refined. The system adapted. But the structure that produced the outcome remained unchanged. New words, same framework. Different procedure, same result. This was a void case.